I knew that the 10-year milestone, the decade milestone, was going to be significant even years back. Like I was like 5 years into my business, and I just knew that something about that energy of being committed and building something and focusing on it in this unwavering way for a decade, there's some kind of secret magical frequency about that. I just felt it. I just knew. And so my 10-year anniversary was March 1st of this year. And since March till now, there's been this fast-paced goals being achieved. Like boom, 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 boom. Like it's at this rhythm now that just feels so incredible because it's a manifestation of these goals and these dreams from so many years back that are just happening. Bam, bam, bam. Like for example, I spoke at the 49th Global Convention on stage. I hit 682-6 with my team, of course. In the first 90 days since I've officially been 682-6, I've made $1 million+ passively. What? Like holy smokes. I remember the dream of making $1 million a year not that long ago. And obviously that's not an income claim or meant to brag or boast or to rub it in. It's just like I'm genuinely blown away at what I've been able to create with my vision, with my determination, with my focus over the course of this, past decade. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Diamond Life Mentor Podcast with your host, Balazs W Kardos. In this episode, I want to talk to you about the power of becoming an inspiring example of what's possible for someone like yourself to come from where you come from, to go through the things that you've gone through, and still create the ideal dream life that you envision for your future, and document that process, document that transformation in front of people publicly on social media is the fastest path, the best, most authentic path for you to actually be able to live your dreams and attract people to want to collaborate with you, partner with you, join you in your opportunity, and actually find your soulmate avatar and tribe that resonates with you because you have what they want. And in my personal journey, this has been one of the biggest keys to my success, that if you really truly understand what we're going to talk about in this podcast episode today, it will transform everything for you in your life. But you have to stick to the blueprint, you have to apply yourself, and you have to be consistent and show up every single day for a super long period of time for this formula and process to work for you. All right? So let's talk a little bit about this, because when you think about it, there's an element of, your personality becomes your personal reality. And so when people try to get to know you and then decide if they like you and eventually trust you for those people that resonate with who you are and what you're all about and what you're speaking about and so on, your personality is a reflection of your personal reality and vice versa. So what does that mean? If we look at the biggest brands, personal brands in the world, they're the brands that we feel like we know them, like them, and trust them, right? And so when you look at a brand such as The Rock or Conor McGregor or Kylie Jenner or Kim Kardashian or some of these influencers and entrepreneurs that have massive personal brands, they quite literally have a reality show, or they show enough of their life on social media that makes you feel like they're multifaceted individuals. So they might be around training or fitness, or they might be about fashion, or they might be around, drama, or they might be around modeling or family or children or all these different aspects. And typically a well-rounded personal brand consists of 5 to 7 core topics where when someone thinks of your name, they immediately jump to, oh, that name equals these things. This is what I can expect. And when you establish this, all you need to do is get it into alignment with who you already are, but being able to convey that in your content as a person who's grateful for where they are today. They're grateful for the things that they've been through in their life, and they also are very excited about their future. They have goals. They're working on themselves. They're focusing on personal growth, personal development, and actually being able to demonstrate and show what that means, what that looks like, what you're interested in, what you're learning about, because that all conveys value. And then as you document this transformation that you're going through, right? For those of you that are still earlier in your careers, maybe you're not making a lot of money, maybe you're not at a high rank or a lot of financial success yet in your business and so on, there's an element of documenting the transformation that becomes literally priceless 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now. And for those of you that follow my Instagram, which is my most active social media channel, if you aren't, I highly recommend you do, and you turn on notifications and make sure you don't miss the stuff that I share. But you'll notice the frequency at which I'm sharing old memories from Facebook, which is what I used to use a lot more frequently than I have in the last little while. And there are so many valuable memories and posts coming up where at the time when I wrote it 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I had very little interaction, very little likes, very little comments. And at the time, it's because there was a level of people weren't sure how seriously I was being, how committed I really was, how relentless I was going to be towards creating my goals, creating my dreams, and things like that. But now that I'm so much further down the path of where I was at that time that I posted that, it just packs a punch. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, damn, he did do that. Oh, damn, he has made that happen. He has followed through. So it becomes very valuable because it shows where you've come from and what you've built. So let's talk a little bit more about this for those of you that are actively building your audience and so on. Think of your social media and your life as a reality show, a reality TV show, and your Instagram account is your channel on TV that people tune into, the same way they watch whatever channel the Kardashians are on or these other shows like Survivor or any of those other stuff, right? And on those shows, there are episodes. And so people tune in of like, what happens this week? What's new? What's the drama? What's the breakthroughs? And the characters in that person's story start to be someone that they get to know as well, right? Like in some cases, personal brands on social media, they'll actually talk about their spouse or show their spouse on the channel or their children or their friends. And you start to get this familiarity between these different characters in that person's personal reality show. So when we think about this balance between, well, how do I stay present in my life? How do I not, always have my phone in my hand and always try to film and always take photos and this kind of thing? First of all, you have to make peace with the fact that this is just the way things are in 2023, 2024, moving into the future, is that we are more and more connected through technology and software and social media. This is how the majority of people keep up with you, including family and friends. And while there is a lot of negatives, there are way more positives when you learn to leverage and utilize this software, this technology, these tools in a way that actually helps you achieve your goals and also help you achieve helping people that you're able to help because of your background, your experience, who you are, and so forth. So look at it from this perspective, like documenting is better than creating, okay? Because when you're thinking about creating content, it's almost like forced in a lot of ways. Like you are removing yourself from your actual life, trying to talk about some stuff rather than talking about it in a way where you're documenting it and providing value and lessons from something that you're actually living through and growing through and experiencing in real time. So how do we actually create this? Well, part of it is really, really cool because there's a flywheel effect. If you pay close attention, there's a flywheel. And here's what the flywheel is. The flywheel is when you know that documenting your life is going to serve you the most and serve your audience the most and build that trust with them. That means that you need to plan out your days, your daily method of operation, your daily process that you're super consistent with, and then document you executing that daily process. So as an example, let's say that you wake up in the morning and you do a few things every single day as part of your morning routine that gets you set up for success. It might be a prayer or gratitude first thing when you wake up. It might be reading a book and developing your mind with some new information, some new skills, and then maybe journaling on that or having a gratitude practice there. And then taking that information and going and implementing that into your life, into your business throughout the day. Maybe you have a morning workout or, consume like Kangen water first thing in the morning. You take your dog for a walk or something like that. Maybe you drop your kids off at school. Whatever that process looks like that is part of your life, the thing that you want to keep in mind is document that and share one quick little clip from these main things that you do. So what do I mean by that? If you look at your schedule, right, and you put everything into your calendar, which is one of the things that I highly, highly recommend people do inside my Diamond Life mentorship program is having no white space on your calendar. Because if you don't have something scheduled and planned for, it usually gets filled with really low priority, random distractions and things that just kind of steal away your time and doesn't move the needle forward in anything that's important to you. But if you have things scheduled, you might have your calendar blocked off in 15-minute time slots or 30-minute time slots or 60-minute time slots throughout your day. If you look at that and analyze it, how many different things or different activities, different tasks do you really do in a full day, right? It's probably not that many, 10, 15, 20 things. So if you were to take one little clip from each of those 10, 15, 20 things that you do in a day, that is your entire content strategy right there. Because if you're doing these increments of 15-minute time slots, 30-minute time slots, 60-minute time slots, and you practice this mentality of doing these little clips, then you're going to be popping up as someone who's very frequently posting a behind the scenes of their daily method of operation, their daily process. So what you need to decide is how in alignment is your life right now with the life that you want to have. So there's two sides to it. The first side of it is you are where you are and it's perfect as it is. You don't need to have flashy lifestyle and travel and nice stuff and be a millionaire and luxurious stuff and all that. It's nice to have that and it's something that you can work towards if you're not there yet. But your current reality is a lot of people's dream, right? Like if you have a loving partner, a wife or a husband or a spouse or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, there's a lot of single people out there that wish they had that and they don't. If you have children, there's a lot of people out there who can't get pregnant or have a difficult time getting pregnant, and you already have children that they want. You know what I'm saying? If you have a roof over your head and you're living in a nice part of the world that doesn't have war and famine and starvation and a lot of really sad stuff that is out there in the world, you have more than a lot of people wish they had already right now. So I think it's very important to make sure that you're not looking at your life, You're not looking at yourself as something that you're not happy about, that you're not grateful about, and that nothing is good, or that you don't even like your life. You're not even happy about your life because you want to be someplace else in the future. And I think it's very important for you to come back, ground yourself in the reality that there's so much to be grateful for, and there's so much that you could be sharing. Now, at the exact same time, every single human being on the planet is deep within drawn towards growth, towards evolution, towards improving themselves in one way or another. They have some sort of a goal that they want to work towards, whether it's buying a house or upgrading their home or losing weight or getting fit or getting married or having children or making more money or traveling more or having more experiences, whatever it is. There's an element of we always are striving for the next level. We should be, all human beings, but depending on that individual and what's important to them, they have different criteria and different priorities of what area of life they're striving to grow within. And it might be the family, it might be the children, it might be fitness, it might be money, it might be lifestyle, it might be travel, it might be charity, it might be giving back, whatever. So you need to be able to have this balance in your content between being grateful for what you have, showing your daily method of operation, providing value within that, actually sharing what it is that you're up to, why it's important to you, what you're learning, what your goals are, what your process is, what you're stuck on. Maybe there's a struggle or a challenge, like, for example, in business, you might be trying to get better with doing paid advertising and you're not quite figuring that out yet, and you're filming content and you're posting it up there and it's not converting, it's not generating leads, it's not generating sales yet. This is an opportunity for you to make content in front of your computer, in front of your laptop, do a little selfie video and be like, look, here I am. I'm going to spend the next hour or two working on my ads, trying to find the audience that resonates with who I am and my content and how I can serve them. I haven't quite cracked the code yet, but I've been practicing and I've tested these different audiences, and it's a really cool process. I'm very grateful for the ability that I have this training, this community, this platform that's showing me this skill set that is going to allow me to grow my business. And I'm going to continue to show up until I figure this thing out, until I start to get results, because I know that I'm capable of getting results. Just like you, if you're listening right now and you want to get results in your life, you want to make more money, you want to travel, there are certain skills that are available to you, such as the ones that I'm learning right now, that could actually provide you an accelerated path to achieve the goals and dreams that you have. And so if you want to learn with me, if you want to hold each other accountable, feel free to hit me up in my DMs. Let's connect. I'll show you the same information that I'm learning. And if not, that's cool too. You can keep watching me win. You can keep watching me going through this process that is going to essentially make me a winner, create me into a winner. Because if I keep showing up, if I keep learning, if I keep practicing, there's no way that I'm going to lose. There's no way that I'm not going to make it. And so stay tuned. Follow my story follow my stories to see my journey unfolding. And sooner or later, I will have a winning ad. Sooner or later, I will have leads. Sooner or later, I will be making sales. Sooner or later, I will make a 10K month. Sooner or later, I will quit my job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, this person is grateful for their life. They're showing their process every day. They might take a photo of the book that they're reading and just leave one little valuable nugget of like, this is my biggest takeaway from this chapter of this book today. Show a little clip of you going for a walk with your dog or your children, going to the gym, exercising, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body. Show a little bit of a clip. And the key with this is making sure that you're not scattered across too many things where it's confusing. Like, some people's social media is so over the top with constant posting about everything that it's a little bit intense. So I think to keep things simple is, pick 5 to 7 different topics that makes you, And it's that unique combination to your lock, you know what I mean? Where it's not that any one specific thing is unique to you, it's the combination of what makes you unique that people are interested in, right? So when you share these little clips, that's like documenting the behind the scenes process. You're really making a movie in these micro scenes, these little tiny clips. And because we live in this age of technology, this age of abundance, and people are just so used to using their phones and their social media and things like this to watch people, and they're essentially people watching, right? That's why when you have people watching your stories and seeing your posts and stuff, but they're not necessarily liking, commenting, engaging, sharing, it's a form of people watching. The same way that if you're sitting at a cafe and you're enjoying lunch and a coffee, and there's people walking past on the sidewalk, and you're just watching, checking it out, looking what they're up to. All human beings do this to a certain extent. But it's not like you're going to necessarily comment to their face, or you're going to engage every single person that walks by on the sidewalk. And so that's how people utilize social media also, is there's an element of watching, because that's human nature, without necessarily saying anything or commenting or engaging. That's why having a call to action is so important, because it's a pattern interrupt on the person's passive watching, and then if you have a very clear call to action of comment this word, or message me this, or do that, or whatever the call to action is, click the link in my bio to register, click the link in my bio to watch this free class tonight, whatever the call to action might be, it makes the person for a second go, oh yeah, like if I'm interested in this, there is something I'm supposed to do to take the next step, you know? So you are creating a movie, and you're doing that in these micro clips, and it has so much value built in just developing the skill and developing this habit, because if you're new to this entire transformation process, don't you want to learn something, do it, and then teach it? That's the golden goose of network marketing, direct sales, being a coach, being a mentor, is you have to focus on, like, how do I change my own life? Like, what am I unhappy with about me? What am I unhappy with about my life, my schedule, my health, my fitness, my finances, my quality of life, my ability to travel, my ability to do the things that I want to do? What am I unhappy with about me? What are the thoughts that I'm having when I'm at my job? Maybe my boss doesn't treat me very well. Maybe I'm not being paid that much. Maybe I'm stressed out or worried or concerned about inflation going up. My income isn't really going up at the same rate. I am feeling the pressure of, debt piling up, or using credit cards more than I want to be, so on and so on. So these thoughts that you have are thoughts other people are having as well. So when you can communicate this and say, look, I got to a place in my life where I don't want to be hiding from my problems anymore. I don't want to be burying my head in the sand, hoping, wishing, and praying that the inflation is going to just go away, that all of a sudden everything's going to be the same price as it was a few years back, when my income was pretty good and I was comfortable and I was able to afford the things that I have today in my life now that seem, unaffordable these days. I'm tired of hiding from my problems. I'm tired of pointing the finger at other people that they're supposed to fix it and they're supposed to make it right. I'm finally making a decision to make a change, to learn what I got to learn, to take the actions that I got to take, so that I could be proud of me at the end of the day. When I look in the mirror before I go to bed, I could be proud of me. That's your content. Because when people watch you, when people listen to you, they go, shit, he's right. That's what I should be doing. And as you establish yourself as an authority, you're creating two things at the same time. You're providing value, which is how you become an authority, and you're showing and documenting the life and your daily process, which makes you a celebrity. So when you can understand these two sides and become a celebrity authority figure to your audience that is the ideal person that you want to have in your business, which really is just the old version of you. If you actually think about it, who are you most qualified to help? Yourself. Does this make sense? You are most qualified to help yourself and the person that you used to be not that long ago. And so we've talked about this in the past on some other episodes of the podcast, but I'm just going to quickly remind you, for those of you that might be new to the podcast and you haven't listened to all 40 episodes so far, is the thing that you need to work on the most is the thing that you're avoiding dealing with. Right? Like if you have a vice, if you're drinking booze, if you're smoking dope, if you're eating trash food and junk food, if you're not exercising, you're fat, overweight, acidic, not feeling good about who you are, you're depressed, any of this kind of stuff. Whatever the main thing is that you know is holding you back, some kind of crutch, some kind of vice, some kind of bad habit. First, you need to admit that there's an issue, right? You have to admit that there's a problem. You have to admit that you've just been letting yourself get away with whatever that is. Then you need to address it, and you need to actually publicly state, like, look, I've been doing this for a while, and it's not getting me to where I want to go. It's hurting my progress. It's slowing me down. It's making me fat. It's making me lazy, whatever's the truth. And you know what? I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to start going to the gym every single day. I'm going to start walking 10,000 steps every single day. I'm going to start tracking what I eat every single day. And then you need to show up and actually show that you're consistent on your social media with, you don't have to film the whole thing. You don't have to film your whole workout and be this guy that's like got his tripod and, isn't even really working out because they're so focused on filming. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about going to the gym and having one photo or one little clip of you going for a run or you doing a little bit of a workout at the gym to show that you did it, you showed up, you have accountability, and you're making progress. That's it. Same thing with eating healthy is like you can have one little video of you making a protein shake. It could be 5 seconds, boom, post it out there, right? If you add music to a visual, like a little bit of a panorama type of clip, it invokes more emotion. So instead of you having to do it all by speaking and trying to explain how you feel or show how you feel, you could literally take a little pen. It could be, your kids playing and there's like a really special, cute moment where what you're thinking about when you make the video is you're grateful, right? You're blessed. You have this child. This child is playing. They're safe. They have a roof over their head. Their stomachs are full. They're well taken care of. There's a lot of love in your family. This is what's going on in your head, right? A lot of parents have these moments throughout the day where they're just in awe. Like, wow, man, that's my child. I created that. I'm taking care of this baby. I love this baby so much. I love to see them grow up and develop and learn new things. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, special experience that you're blessed to have that many other people out there are not able to have or haven't had it yet. If you pick the right song and add it to that little bit of a clip, you don't even have to write much on the video. You don't have to have a caption. You don't have to have this big explanation and this backstory. Just a really sentimental style video clip with the right music that invokes that emotion that you were feeling when you were in the moment. That's it. Post that. Share that. And when you do all of this, right, you become an inspiring example of what's possible because you have a starting point. We all do. We have a starting point. And when we were born, whatever the circumstances were for our parents, for our family, the country we were born, the language we speak, the economic status that our parents had, the money, the time, the jobs that they had, the careers that they had, the love that you had or didn't have in your family, the adversities that you faced, the challenges that you faced, the setbacks that you faced, the mistakes that you've made, the trouble that you've gotten yourself into, the relationships that didn't work out, the health challenges, the bad choices with money, the racking up the debt, the ruining your credit, the getting into a car accident, the hurting yourself, the whatever, right? There's been so much that all of us have been through in our lives, and you have 100% success rate of getting through the hardest times of your life because you're still here. Does that make sense? Your track record of getting through the tough bullshit in your past is 100% success rate. You feel me? Like, you've been through a lot, but you've also made it through a lot, which now, if you package it properly, you convey it effectively, has value, has wisdom, has lessons. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? And it makes you a valuable person of what's possible when you kind of go through that and get to where you are and also continue to grow where you're going next. And so I think that if you can wrap your head around not feeling like you need to be something that you're not, or that you're supposed to be making money that you aren't, or showing something flashy, or whatever, something that you feel is outside of yourself that you're not there yet, and therefore you're embarrassed about sharing what is true and where you actually live and the life and the schedule that you actually have, you got to get through that, because if you have the certainty and the belief that you are going to continue to get better, which you should, because if you practice, if you're focused, if you're committed, if you keep showing up, doing the work, having that daily method of operation, having that daily process, you have to continue to make progress. There's no other way about it. You cannot possibly show up and do something every single day for a year and be worse at that thing a year from now. You know what I mean? So there needs to be this level of trust and belief and certainty in you, that you are who you say you are, that you show up when you say you're going to show up. You trust yourself when you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. This is a muscle that you need to develop. And a lot of you right now, this muscle is weak. This muscle has never been utilized because you have loose lips. You just talk. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do this next week. I'm going to start in the morning. I'm going to start next week. New Year's resolutions and all the rest of it. And you never follow through. And so your trust level with you is non-existent. So the first thing that you need to do is start developing this muscle of trust within yourself. And when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And when you do it, you're going to make a little clip and you're going to show it on social media that you did, in fact, do what you say you're going to do. So you're building trust with you and simultaneously building trust with your audience, because it's a full circle, and that's where the flywheel comes from. So when we say document your life instead of creating content, well, what you really need to be creating is the life that you want to live in your calendar, in your schedule, in conversations with your family and your spouse. Like, what do we want to do in the month of December 2023? What do we want that month to represent in our lives, in our memories, in our experiences? What are some key things that we can plan as a family? So maybe it's holiday related activities. If you celebrate Christmas or something like this, it might be going and doing some local stuff. It might be going on a ski or snowboard vacation or holiday. Maybe you're going to go visit some family around the Christmas time. Maybe you're going to have some fun plans for New Year's Eve. Whatever it is, you need to first go to the drawing board and be like, let me map this out as if it was a reality TV show. right? A reality TV show does the same thing. They're going to ask Kim Kardashian, hey, what's on the schedule for December? Do you have any speaking events? Do you have any business promotions? Do you have any launches? Do you have any family stuff? They're going to find out what's on her calendar, what's on her schedule. She's going to go execute and just live her life that is obviously planned out of the things that are important to her, as an example. And then the documentary team, the content creators, the camera crew, etc., they're going to join her and just capture and document those things, which then turns into an episode of her show. This is your social media. It's the same thing. So all I'm getting at here is your brand is a representation of your personal reality, which gets to know your personality with your audience. So to put this another way, how can you make your December the most epic month, not just December, every month of every year moving forward, right? How can you make your month so exciting, so gratifying for yourself? And it doesn't necessarily mean luxurious. It doesn't necessarily mean expensive. It doesn't necessarily mean those things that you might be thinking like, oh, but it's easy for you to say, Balazs, you got money. No. It's like just perfect as it is, but go somewhere, do something, get out of the house, experience something fun, create those special moments and memories with your children, take photos, take those little clips of special things going on, and then share that. And that's the bliss of your current situation, while you're also following this daily method of operation, this process that is non-negotiable, that you're super consistent with. You work out every single day, one way or another, right? It's non-negotiable. You do your morning routine, you do your personal development every single day. It's non-negotiable. You're going to document that, you're going to share that. Then you're going to have fun with your family if that's part of your brand. Some of you, it isn't, because you aren't in a relationship and you don't have kids and that's not part of your life right now. Maybe something else is, like traveling or something fitness or guitar or some other passion. But share that every single day. What will end up happening is people will follow along this journey. You're going to fill them in on like what's going on in your head. What are your goals right now? What are the skills that you're trying to learn? What are some struggles and challenges that you're trying to discover? What are your really deep, passionate views on your vision for your life and your future and what you're creating, and then speak that into existence and talk about it. So you will then create this trust with people where they want to learn, what exactly are you doing to be so positive? Well, they're watching you do it in real time. You're waking up consistently, early. You're doing some personal development. You're reading your book. You're practicing a new skill. You're showing up every day. You're learning all these skills. And at the same time, you're enjoying your family. You're enjoying your life. As time goes on, people will be inspired by the example that you've set based on where they've seen you travel from, the story of your past and where it's led you to now. This is so huge and so important. And a lot of people are missing this at the moment, and they're not doing a good enough job because there is too much emphasis on value and selling and call to actions and always trying to just like pitch people in social media, rather than this balance of, this is my daily process that I'm just going to keep showing it to you like a personal reality TV show with some music, with some emotion that makes them really understand who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. Is it for your kids? Is it for your freedom? Is it because you come from a really shitty childhood and you have some, making up to do that is important to you to fill those voids and create a better future for yourself and your future family or something? And as time goes on, there's this element of, I really understand this person. I know them. I've gotten to know them in this social media way. I really like what they're about. And now I trust them. And the trust really comes from the consistency, never missing, showing up, and having an attractive life that isn't boring. But it's not the boring that's the problem. It's the fact that you yourself perceive your current life as boring, rather than becoming grateful and seeing your current life as a blessing, as a dream come true, as a gift to so many people out there in the world that don't have what you already have now. And you are the one that needs to realize that your life is amazing, that your life isn't boring, that you are in a really beautiful season of your life. And at the exact same time, you're dissatisfied and you have goals and aspirations and plans to improve, to learn, to grow, and make sure you're documenting all of that as well. There are certain people that I know, including me, that have a much more beautiful life than their social media shows. And a lot of the time, there's this disconnect between like being humble. It's like, I don't want to say much because I want to be humble. I don't want to be flashy. I don't want to show like this and that and other thing. But the reality is this, guys, closed mouths don't get fed. Being quiet isn't being humble. It's doing your audience and your people and your avatar and the old version of you a disservice. That's the truth. And I'm actually learning this for myself right now, is I need to do a better job of not feeling like my normal regular schedule when I'm at my Vancouver home is mundane or boring or the same, because in fact, my schedule is perfect and I created it and I love it and it's exactly what I want in this stage of my life. But because it's repetitive and very similar by intention, I feel like sharing that, rinse and repeat type of content, for whatever reason, I was just like, well, people don't want to see the same thing over and over and over again. But I'm learning now that that's actually not true, is that sharing the same things or at least similar things, right? It's not the exact same workout, but it's showing the workout daily. It's showing the fact that I got a trainer as an inspiring example of like, this is possible. You can have a trainer, or the fact that we have like full-time help in our home with our kids in our home and our house and food and cleaning and things is possible, etc. So I'm needing to take my own advice on this, and you're gonna see a shift in my social media as well, with just a lot more behind the scenes consistency of these like micro clips, so you can watch the Diamond Life BWK personal reality TV type of show on social media. That's going to be a focus of mine that I'm committing to and dedicating myself to. So anyways, as we wrap up this episode, some of you have already seen that I was very honored to be featured on the Enagic E Friends cover story for November 2023. And in that story, there was quite a beautiful write-up. And there's like 6 pages of my story, my background, some of the things that I've learned, some of the lessons around my 10-year business. It's been over 10 years since I started this business. And I knew that the 10-year milestone, the decade milestone, was going to be significant even years back. Like I was like 5 years into my business, and I just knew that something about that energy of being committed and building something and focusing on it in this unwavering way for a decade, there's some kind of secret magical frequency about that. I just felt it. I just knew. And so my 10-year anniversary was March 1st of this year. And since March till now, there's been this fast-paced goals being achieved. Like boom, 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 boom. Like it's at this rhythm now that just feels so incredible, because it's a manifestation of these goals and these dreams from so many years back that are just happening. Bam, bam, bam. Like for example, I spoke at the 49th Global Convention on stage. I hit 682-6 with my team, of course. In the first 90 days since I've officially been 682-6, I've made $1 million+ passively. What? Like, holy smokes. I remember the dream of making $1 million a year not that long ago. And now I'm on a trajectory to not only do it every 90 days, which is where I'm at now, but in the very near future, I know that I'll be doing $500,000 a month, 750 million, that's in the future, 750,000 a month, a million a month in full-on take-home profit, and continue to scale from there because of the foundations and the legworks that I've done for over a decade, which means like this next decade, we're building this completely next level. It's no longer the foundation. It's about scalability. It's about taking things to another level in a really exciting way. And obviously that's not an income claim or meant to brag or boast or to rub it in. It's just like I'm genuinely blown away at what I've been able to create with my vision, with my determination, with my focus over the course of this, past decade. And I know that I'm an inspiring example of what's possible because that was always my intention, is to crack the code on my own limitations, fix all the things about me that I didn't like. I didn't like being broke. I didn't like not having time. I didn't like not being able to travel. I didn't like being overweight and not exercising consistently. I didn't like being, depressed. I didn't like being unhappy and not having a relationship and things like this. So over the years, I'm chipping away. I'm sculpting the sculpture of Balazs in this methodical, very intentional, purposeful way of, I analyze. I have this self-awareness, this reflection, like, what's next? What is something that I don't like about me that I can improve on? And what do I need to do to improve upon that? Is it something I need to do for me and it's fully on my own, which I don't really believe in? I think that almost everything in our lives has more power to outsource, to hire a coach, a mentor, an expert to assist us in breaking through whatever's holding us back with those limitations to get better in that area of life. I'm a huge, huge believer in that. And so anyways, all I'm getting at here, guys, is that no matter what stage you are in your journey right now, no matter what income level you're at, what rank you are at, or maybe you don't even have a high profit online business that you're actively building at this moment, what I want you to take away at the end of this episode is real simple, is number one, your life is the story that other people need to know and be inspired by. And even if your story so far up until this point seems like it's embarrassing, or you're not proud of it, or you've been through a lot of really challenging things, that's the hero's journey, and it's just one part of the story so far. Now it's up to you to write the next chapter, the next part, and make sure that the end of the book is super, super inspiring from where you came from and where you ended up. And you are in the driver's seat. You are the author and you're the main character, and you get to write this plot. So you need to look at it and ask yourself, okay, what can I do to not only make myself a better person, to have that personal growth, have that personal development, but how could I actually share the wisdom, the strategy, what I did to improve my life with my audience on social media in a way that I'm documenting it like a personal reality TV show. And you'll be amazed at what happens when you actually start to verbalize and communicate the challenges, the problems, what you're doing about it, the outcome, the result, good or bad, doesn't matter. What did you learn? What result did you get? What are you doing about it to go back to the drawing board to make it better? And then finally, when you have the breakthrough and you win and you crack that code, share that with people too. And you'll be so, so, so amazed at people's reaction to you of, yeah, I want whatever you're offering. And then when you have a call to action to join you, to watch a webinar, to DM you, to work with you, to have an accountability with you or whatever, people are going to go, yeah, all right, I've seen enough. I'm ready. Let's make those moves. Let's take action. And you've demonstrated to me that you're someone who you trust yourself, you show up for yourself, you're making progress, you're solving things, you're getting results one way or another in different areas of your life that you're talking about. I'm ready to work with you, because if you can be an inspiring example of what other people want that you also wanted, and then you created it, and then now you have it, that is the golden ticket to freedom. That is the golden ticket to the diamond life, because you are a well-rounded individual that is not leaving any stones unturned. And that's the game of life. And we're in a business model that rewards us for becoming the best versions of ourselves, documenting the journey, sharing that value along the way, and then inviting other people to participate and have their transformation next under your coaching, under your mentorship, and along with your opportunity and business plan that has also been responsible for setting yourself free, or it is the vehicle that you are currently learning how to drive to set yourself free, and it's just a matter of time that you eventually will. So I hope this has been super valuable. Please share this on your social media. Share this with your team members. The podcast is growing at a really, really nice rate, but we could always use some extra help in sharing the show, leaving a review, letting your team members know, recommending my social media accounts at Balazs W Kardos, at the Diamond Life Mentor. And let's continue to keep growing, winning, improving ourselves, and getting to the next level, and being an inspiring example of all of those people out there who are looking for someone to look up to, and let that be you and I that changes everything for them and begins their journey towards their highest self and creating that health, wealth, and freedom that we're able to provide people. All right, thank you for listening. Much love to you, and we'll see you again next week on the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.